Hey there everybody, my name is Keno and welcome back to your Toronto Blue Jays franchise mode series here on MLB the Show 24. And oh god, I love that is out. I've actually been having a lot of fun with it. I've been doing a franchise mode in my off time. I've been playing Road to the Show for the first time. That series, the first part, just went up on the channel if you want to go check it out. It's got a fun little twist on it. I thought it was a little bit of a creative idea. I don't know about you guys, but now we're back with our Toronto Blue Jays franchise mode series. And I want to quickly say again before we jump into anything, thank you guys so much for all the love that we got on that first video. I did not expect it. I woke up to many new subscribers and many views and many comments and many likes, and you guys have all made my day, so thank you very much. But let's waste no more time and let's look at the moves that I plan to make. Now, right off the bat, I want to address a comment I made in the previous video, the first part of this series, where I said that I don't typically make a lot of moves to start a franchise mode series. I like to see what the idea is, okay? But when it comes to this team, there's a few problem areas that I addressed in the last video, such as our second base, closing pitchers, and relief pitchers. And people in the comments were asking for some help in these areas, saying that we need a second baseman, or we need a closing pitcher or relief pitcher and a starting pitcher. That's what people said, and I agree completely. I also wanted to target a second baseman, and I've picked out 4 trades so far. I think there's one more that I want to add that will address these problem areas while not giving up too much from the main roster and building us not just for now but the next few years. Okay, I want to try to implement an NHL style into the way that this is done, whether it be longer contracts, whether it be better structures, I'm not sure, but I want to take a new approach to how this is done. And one of the things that made it easier to accept some of these trades and plan out some of these trades was knowing who is going to be leaving our team. Now, one player on this list that is not going to be leaving is Vlad Guerrero Jr. We will be giving him a contract extension in just a minute because we need to keep him. Past that, though, there are a few players that I don't think will be coming back next year, and a few players, because of their contract status currently, are on the way out and are part of the trades that I plan to make. And there are a few big ones. There are a few Blue Jays that have been here for a while, but I don't mind making some changes if it means the team is better off in the future. So right off the bat, as I said, we want to get him signed. For now, that's the only contract I'm going to offer out. Okay, for now, that's the only one that we're going to do until we've got the team a little more structured and set up that I want to give an extension to. Most of the other players that are expiring are a little older. The other players that are younger and have potential, they're probably going to get their extensions. But let's see. Vlad Guerrero Jr. wants $21.3 million over 2 years. I don't mind the term as much. I've realized that with players under the age of 29 mostly, they don't want term. They want anything but term because they want to make their bank. And you know what? You can't hate the game. You cannot hate the game. You got to respect the game. If you're young and you know you're just going to get better, get as much money as possible. I get that completely. And then when you're ready to settle down, then you ink that monster contract. But right now he wants 2 years at $21 million. Or I wouldn't be opposed to giving him a little more term, but the problem is we'd have to give him more than what he's looking for. So we'd have to give him about $24.5 million a year to get him to a longer term, which is, we have a lot of salary, but I don't want to do that much. Okay, we could always lower it and give him a player option, but I'm nervous about that with how good he is. Okay, I don't want him to have to renegotiate if we get him signed to a decent deal. So we're going to do the 2 years that he's asking for. We're not going to do a player option. We are going to drop it down to $21 million. So $42 million altogether, $21 million AAV over 2 years. I think this will be fair. Let's see if he accepts it. That's about what I'm looking for in a contract. Done deal. Okay, so we saved about 600 grand altogether in the contract negotiations, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. right off the bat is extended. Now, when it comes to the other players, Danny Jansen, as I said in the last video, he is kind of expendable since we have Alejandro Kirk, and right there, Alejandro Kirk needs a new contract, so I may be going back on what I said. We're going to give him an extension. So again, he doesn't want any term, but he's not looking for that much, nowhere near as much as Vlad Guerrero Jr. was. We can't even give him any more. Look at how much his interest drops over that time. So we're just going to give him 2 years as he's asking for. Try to save a bit of money, maybe a 2-year, $4 million deal, $4 million a year. We'll save $800K altogether. I think that's fair. We don't want to give him a platoon though. I think he's going to be an everyday player. So actually that helps us a bit. Maybe we can drop this down to a 2-year, $3.5 million a year deal. That's low interest, but maybe he'll accept it. Let's see. Will he accept this contract? I think I'm worth more than what you're offering. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We kind of lowballed him a bit. Let's do 2 years, $8 million. We'll keep him the everyday thing. I think that's pretty fair. We could try to do, nah, we can't do anything. Let's just 2 years, $8 million altogether, $4 million a year. Will he accept that? I've given your offer some thought and I've decided to accept. Beautiful. So we've got Kirk and Vlad Guerrero Jr. signed to extensions off the bat. past that, I will stay true. We are going to hold off on offering any more contracts out. Dalton Varsho is another person that I would be considering giving a contract to, but as I said, I want to see how the cards fall after I've made these next few moves. So I want to quickly preface this. Before we jump into these trades and I show you what I have planned, I don't know too much about baseball. I don't know everything that there is to know. I used to play this game avidly back in about 2018, 2019, and I even bought a PS4 in order to play it when I was stupid with money and a young idiot. But now I'm not as refined in it. I don't know that much. Leave comments down below and you can critique the trades all you want. You can say, hey, maybe that wasn't the best idea. I don't want trash talk. I mean, I accept it. Being a sports fan, you're going to get trash talk, but I hope you guys can understand that I'm trying my absolute damn best to make this team good, and I have some trades picked out. All right, and the first trade that I have picked out is more to free up roster spots for our team. So we're going to be moving on from Andres Sosa. If you don't remember, I said that we had to move on from him, no doubt, because he's a 34 overall at 26 years old, D potential. There's no future for him with this team. I also added in Chad Dallas, who is, again, a lower potential player, 23, C potential, 62 overall. Doesn't seem like he's going to pan out. And then I added Desan Brown, who is 22, D potential, 60 overall. Again, doesn't seem like he's going to pan out, but we are going to be getting MJ Melendez. Now, Melendez looks pretty decent, 25, 67 overall, A potential. He has the ability to jump into the low mid 70s and become something for us. This, again, though, as I must stress, was just mostly to free up a roster spot or roster spots and get something decent in return. So they're definitely interested in making this deal. Let's offer the trade. Confirm this trade to the Royals? Yes, we will. Okay, sounds like a good deal to us. We accept that trade. Beautiful. Okay, let's make another trade. Okay, and the next trade I have is with the Cubs, and it's a better one. Again, I originally targeted this trade as one in a way to move out players. You'll see that we are moving on from one of our relief pitchers in Eric Swanson, but don't worry, the other trades will fix that area. But it is going to be Eric Swanson, a relief pitcher, Santiago Espinal, a second baseman, and Tucker Toman, who I don't think is going to pan out, and we already have Arjun Nimala, so we don't really need Tucker Toman, to the Cubs for Nico Horner, a good second base prospect. In fact, I don't even think you can say he's a prospect anymore. A potential at 26 with 83 overall. He's going to be good for us. He's going to be a damn good player for us, hopefully. So I'm ready to make this trade. Are you guys behind this one? Let me know in the comments if you think this is a good one. I mean, we are absorbing a lot of cap, but it is the first of a 3-year contract for Nico Horner at around $11.7 million AAV. So I don't mind it too much. We're going to offer this trade because they're definitely interested in making the deal. Let's see. All right, sounds like a good deal to us. We'll accept that trade. So Nico Horner is now a Toronto Blue Jay. All right, and this next trade that I plan to make, if you don't think I'm botching this team already, you might think so now. We're going to be moving on from another relief pitcher in Tim Meza, as well as starting pitcher Chris Bassett and Cavan Biggio to the Seattle Mariners for Matt Brash and Brian Wu. Now, Brian Wu looks decent, 24 years old, 75 overall, B potential. It is a 5 overall hit compared to Chris Bassett, but I think given the fact that he's 7 years younger, or maybe even 8 or 9 years younger, he'll catch up quickly and he'll be a good piece for us for quite a bit. And then Matt Brash, 25 years old, B potential at 79 overall, is a major increase over Tim Meza. And I think this is a good trade for us. And you know what? We're moving out a lot of cap. We're actually moving out $28.8 million in cap and only taking in $1.4 million. That's beautiful in my books. It's a little bit lopsided in their favor. I tried to make it so it was perfectly even, but there's not really much I could do. I tried swapping out different players. It just didn't work out. But this, I feel, is a good trade for this team. And I just went through trying to add some players to it. No matter what I do, even if it's a deep potential with no real future like Blake Rambush, it still goes too much in their favor or in our favor, and they won't accept that. So let's see, will they take this deal? We're definitely interested in making this deal. I think it'll go through. I like this, that it kind of tells you what they're interested in. It works out better this way, and they do. Sounds like a good deal to us. We'll accept that trade. I want to know something though. I want to know something real quickly. You guys are on my soundboards here. Let me know, will they accept the trade if it's slightly in our favor? If the bar is slightly on our side, will they still accept those trades, or are they just no-nos? Are they just big no-nos? They're never going to accept those trades. Let me know, because I don't know if I could get away with some steals. All right, potentially the final trade we're going to be making is a pretty decent one in my opinion. We're going to be moving on from starting pitcher Yusei Kikuchi, relief pitcher Trevor Richards, and first baseman Spencer Horwitz to the Miami Marlins for AJ Puk, who is a 28-year-old with B potential at 82 overall, looking pretty decent to me, and Trevor Rogers. Now, Rogers for Richards is a pretty lateral move. The only thing we're getting better off in is he's 4 years younger and he's got that A potential, so he could still develop into a decent relief pitcher for us. And again, we do free up one more roster spot for free agent acquisitions. So I think this is a pretty fair trade. I might still be targeting one more trade to add in a relief pitcher. Originally, I won't lie, that it wasn't going to be AJ Puk that I was getting. It was going to be Edward Cabrera. And I'm still tempted to go with it because Cabrera is 25. He's 3 years younger, but he is 8 overall points lower. And that in itself is a little bit scary to me, okay? I mean, if we get 3 years of development, he could easily hit that 82. And I think that's the question we have to ask. Do we want to win now or do we want to have someone for the future? He's already looking pretty good with a 4-seam fastball, a slurve, a sinker, a slider, and a circle change. Pretty good velocity, pretty good break. Honestly, amazing velocity and break. I think that this might be the way we go. And you know what? I've talked myself back into it, should I say. We're going to be going for Edward Cabrera over AJ Puk. And we're going to be moving on from Yusei Kikuchi, Trevor Richards, and Spencer Horwitz to do it. I think this is a pretty decent trade. Okay, now hear me out. Hear me out. We just acquired Nico Horner. That does make Davis Schneider technically expendable. He's 25 years old with B potential at 75. Nico Horner is 26, but he's got A potential and he's 8 overall points higher with 2 more years left on his contract. That does technically make Davis Schneider expendable. So if we package Schneider with Garcia and Yusei Kikuchi, we can add 2 starting pitchers, one for the long term, one for the now and a few years from now, and Trevor Rogers. I think that's the way to go. I think this is the trade to make. You guys can be freaking out at me all you want. I'm also moving out massive amounts of salary. I think this is the way to go. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this, but I'm going to be offering this trade here. So we're going to be moving on from Yusei Kikuchi, Davis Schneider, and Yimi Garcia for Trevor Rogers, Edward Cabrera, and AJ Puk. Let's see. This will go through, right? Sounds like a good deal to us. We'll accept that trade. Okay, we've made a lot of moves. We've moved on from some decent players, but I think we made this team stronger. Now, already our second base has now jumped to 8th overall. Our closing pitching and relief pitching is still 21st, which is a little concerning, but I might have one more trade in the chamber to make. Okay, and I didn't think I was going to make any more trades because it's really hard to find relief pitchers. Somebody in the comments said that too, and I agree with it completely. To find really good relief pitchers, it's pretty damn hard, but I think I have a decent trade here, okay? It's going to be MJ Melendez, who we just acquired in that first trade, out the door, plus Trevor Richards finally out the door like I planned to do, and Miguel Geraldo to the Tigers for Alex Lang, a closing pitcher who's 28 overall, B potential at 76. Shelby Miller, who's 33, C potential at 77 overall, and Andrew Chafin, 33 years old, C potential, 76 overall. Now, those two are definitely just going to be here for the year, okay? They're going to be decent at shoring up our bullpen and helping us. I'm just a little nervous because they don't want this trade. The value bar is directly in the middle, okay? But they still think they should be getting more value. If it doesn't go through, then I will have to switch Geraldo with Martinez, and it might seem like a bit of a loss, but I think it's one we might have to make. But let's see. Geraldo, Richards, and Melendez to the Tigers for Lang, Chafin, and Miller. Will this go through? No, they want a little more, so unfortunately it will be our Elvis Martinez, and I know you guys might be coming at me in the comments. I just think that him and Geraldo have about the same chance at developing, and honestly, Martinez is just a little bit more expensive, so it helps us a bit. So let's see, Elvis Martinez, Trevor Richards, and MJ Melendez to the Tigers for Alex Lang, Andrew Chafin, and Shelby Miller. Will this go through? It does, and that is our 5th and final trade that we've made, and I did not expect to make that many trades, but I think we're a little better off for it now. And we are, look at that, our closing and relief pitching has jumped from 21st to 10th in the league. That's good enough for me, okay? We have now added 2 extra spots that were our weakest to the top 10 in the league, and that's a win in my books. But we're not done yet, as somebody did say JD Martinez would be a good designated hitter for us, and honestly, I'm willing to give him the money for it. And the best thing is that JD Martinez is not looking for a lot of term. He's only looking for 2 years. I'm still a little skeptical over that just because of his age. Now, he is 36, but he has that A potential, so that's a little bit of a guarantee that he won't drop off right away, but I still don't want to give him 2 years. So with all the money that we have moved out, I am willing to give him a bit more money. I'm gonna give him what he's asking for on a 1-year contract, $11 million. I think that's pretty fair. If I did do 2 years, I'd probably do a club option or both option, to be fair, just so that we could move on from the contract if we wanted to. But I think 1 year at $11 million is the way to go. Let's see, does he accept this contract? I've given your offer some thought and I've decided to accept. Perfect. So JD Martinez is a Toronto Blue Jay. Now, past that, I had considered bringing back Jordan Montgomery. But when we look at our pitching rotation as it is, we got Gausman at 90, AJ Puk at 82, Jose Barrios at 81, and then Manoah at 76, and the newest addition, Brian Wu, at 75. And past that, we still have Edward Cabrera at a 74. So I don't think we're in the biggest need to upgrade our pitching as much. And Montgomery's looking for term. 5 years, $43 million altogether, $8.7 million a year. At 31, that's a no way for me. We would definitely be doing a club option or a both option in this case so that I could choose to move on from him. But I just don't think it's worth it at this point. I would rather do 2 years or even 1 year, $10.5 million. That could work out for me, but that's still a lot of money in my opinion. And he probably won't be comfortable with the term. So with that being said, I'm not going to be offering Jordan Montgomery a contract. I wouldn't be too opposed to cycling back and possibly looking at acquiring him or signing him to a contract if you guys think I should, but it's not going to happen now. I also looked at Zach Greinke, Mike Lorenzen, and Rich Hill. Rich Hill was pretty much the most appealing of the bunch, only looking for about 2 years, around $4 million a year. I could actually get him to 1 year on $4 million, but again, I don't think we need to. As you can see, Gausman, Puk, Barrios, Manoah, Wu, Cabrera, and then Bowden Francis if we absolutely have to. I think we're good with what we have. But I did want to give Javier Colon a contract. I had mentioned in the last video that he was very intriguing to me, so we are going to give him a 1 year, $100,000 offer, and he should accept that, and yes, he does. He asks when he hits the field, and it should be very soon. But that's going to be it for the free agent contracts we offer. I'm just going to get the lines and the rotations set up, and I'll be back with you guys. All right, and our batting lineup is George Springer leading off with Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at second and third. Justin Turner is our third baseman. Nico Horner is our new second baseman. JD Martinez will be filling in the role as the designated hitter. Then we have Varsho left field. Alejandro Kirk will be drawing in over Danny Jansen at catcher. And Kevin Kiermaier rounds it out playing center field for us. And I think that's pretty good. Javier Colon is someone that I definitely want to get into some games, as well as Danny Jansen, unless we move on from Danny Jansen and Joey Votto. But for now, we're just going to stay as is. And our pitching rotation is Gausman leading off with Puk, Barrios, Manoah, and Wu right behind him. And then in the bullpen, we have Matt Brash. Edward Cabrera is currently still up with the team, but I'm not opposed to sending him down to get some innings in with the, I can't remember what the name is. I think it's the Fisher Cats with the AAA team. We also have Chad Green, Genesis Cabrera. I don't know if Edward Cabrera and Genesis Cabrera are related. I mean, their pictures look awfully identical, so they might be. And we have Andrew Chafin, Shelby Miller, Alex Lang, who is the closing pitcher we just acquired, will be our setup pitcher, and then Jordan Romano is still the closer for now. We will be swapping them out throughout the season depending on how they do. And before we move on, I do want to offer out some contract extensions now that we know how the team's looking, and we're going to start with Matt Brash. He's only looking for 2 years at $3 million total, $1.5 million a year, and honestly, I don't mind that. I'm still going to try to lowball it a bit, maybe do 2 years, $1.25 million a year. Let's see, will he accept this? And he does. Beautiful. So we get Matt Brash signed up. I'm also going to offer Brian Wu an extension, 2 years, $1.5 million total, so $770,000 a year. Let's offer him that, and he accepts it. Edward Cabrera is another person I want to get signed. He wants 2 years, $1.3 million a year for $2.6 million total. I want to see if we can low that a bit, probably to $1.1 million a year. Let's see, will he accept this? Beautiful, he does. That's great for us. Now, Trevor Rogers was someone else I wanted to extend, but he's looking for a lot of money for somebody who hasn't really proven himself yet for the team. I mean, if we lower his term, then his asking price goes down a bit. I mean, $3.1 million isn't bad. I just don't want to give him $2.7 million a year for somebody who I haven't even seen with the team yet, you know? So we're going to wait out on Trevor Rogers. As I had mentioned earlier, Dalton Varsho was somebody I was interested in extending. He wants 5 years, though, at $41.5 million, $8.3 million a year. If we lower the term, that price goes down a little bit, around $900,000. It's still a little too much for me. I mean, if he can accept 2 years at $7 million a year, maybe that's fair. I'm still nervous about it. And because I'm nervous, I'm going to hold off on that. I don't think there's anybody else we want to extend. Maybe Alex Lang. And you know what? We can get Alex Lang for about 3 years at $2.25 million a year. If he accepts this, that's perfect. And he does. Beautiful. Okay, so that's a lot of re-signings done. Everyone else, I'm going to kind of wait on, okay? I don't really think we need to jump into any other contract extensions at this point in time. But that has been a lot of moves, a lot of signings, and we have really done well with this team. I mean, we're 2nd in left field now, 6th in shortstop, 8th in second base, 10th in closing pitching and relief pitching, 5th in first base, and 9th in right field. And honestly, we're still pretty good too. 12th at catcher, 12th at pitching, 15th at center field, and 16th at third base. Maybe we can get a little stronger there. But right now, we've made a lot of moves and made this team a lot stronger. And I was considering doing some simming for this, but I think we've made a lot of moves. I want to hear your guys' feedback. You guys let me know in the comments if you think we're ready for the regular season. I mean, we still have spring training coming up. We can still go through that. I could do that now, but I just don't have the recording time right now to do it. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know if you think we've made enough moves, if you think we've made too many moves. Let me know your general feedback, okay? Let me know what you've had for breakfast today. I want to know everything. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been a blast. If you like this video, please leave a like down below and let's be know what type of content you like me putting out. I want to say thank you again for how much love I got in the first video. It's been crazy. I can't thank you guys enough. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the content, and just know that I am a sponge. I'm willing to learn everything and anything that there is about the MLB so that I can get better at doing these franchise mode series and enjoy baseball more in general, and also so I can put out better content for you guys, okay? I know you guys don't want to see somebody who doesn't know much about baseball making a lot of trades and making the team possibly worse. I have won World Series when I played MLB the Show back in 2018 and 2019. I haven't played in a long time, and I don't know as much as I used to, but I'm willing to learn. So thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys are all amazing, and I'll see you guys as we go through spring training and head up toward the draft in the next episode.